Dolphins fans, hope you're all having a great weekend. I am Will Scott, and on today's show, we don't do these shows very often, but I enjoy them when we do. We're doing a Dolphins trade mailbag, so these trade ideas are coming directly from our subscribers at Dolphins Today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, go down, hit that big red sub button. You can have a chance to be featured on a future show. On top of that, you're going to get the best Dolphins coverage on the internet. So go down, subscribe, turn on those notifications as well so you do not miss any Dolphins news or rumors. Our first trade idea comes in from Carter Reimer. What's going on, Carter? He wants Josh Jacobs. So his trade proposal is Dolphins receive Josh Jacobs, Raiders receive Myles Gaskin, and a second-round pick. That is a lot. I don't know if you'd have to give up a second-round pick, but it is worth noting that Carter says only make this trade. So this is a mid-season trade proposal. If Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds go down, those are the Dolphins' top two running backs. Both of them have a lengthy injury history. So here is the trade again. In terms of making this trade, if those two guys go down, I don't know if you should be trading for a running back or trading away a running back if your two guys go down. But I would absolutely give up a draft pick to get Josh Jacobs if the Dolphins are in that situation midseason. Here are Jacobs' stats from last year: 9 touchdowns, 872 yards. He is an above-average running back, a top-half running back in this league. I really like him, and he is on the trade block in Las Vegas. They are talking about potentially trading him and maybe another running back there as well. So in Kenyon Drake, who probably is not come back to the Fin. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over there in Vegas with their running back situation. Now, would you do this trade? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Down in the comments section, would you give up a second-round pick and Gaskin for Josh Jacobs? Type Y or N down in the comments. Birch Sports is our next trade idea here. Eric Rowe and Myles Gaskin to Atlanta for a fifth-round pick, and he explains why. We clear money and give the Falcons two players in position of need. The Falcons need a lot. I'll tell you that. Here is the trade idea. So Dolphins would get a fifth-round pick. The Falcons would receive Eric Rowe and Gaskin. If I'm giving up both of those guys, I want a lot more than a fifth-round pick, maybe a player in return and a fifth-round pick. In fact, I have a player from the Falcons that I would love on the Dolphins that we'll get to here in a second. So I think it's more likely they give up one of those guys and get a fifth-round pick in exchange rather than giving them up both. Now, you can go down to the comments and the description of this video and find this link. chatsports.com/Dolphins combo. This is the t-shirt combo sale that we're giving you right now. $20 off. So you can get both of these t-shirts for $29.99. Not per t-shirt. Both t-shirts under $30. Great deal we're giving you here on Dolphins Today. Go and take advantage of it. You have to go to that link to get the deal. chatsports.com/Dolphins combo. Matthew Frost, what's going on, man? Do you think we could trade Eric Rowe for an offensive lineman? And on the last question, I said I had a player in mind from the Falcons that I would very much like on the Dolphins. And it is, in fact, an offensive lineman. And we're going to get to it here in a second. But I absolutely think that a trade for an offensive lineman, if you're giving up Eric Rowe, is possible. And the player I have in mind is Matt Hennessey, a center for the Falcons who maybe will get traded. It's unlikely, but it's definitely possible because Drew Dalman is the backup center on the Falcons, and he split playing time with Dalman at the end of last season. In fact, some people in Atlanta believe that Dalman might be the center of the future. From a Falcons perspective, in terms of their front office, I don't know why they do that because Hennessy is a top 10 center in the league. His 89.1 run block grade ranked second amongst centers last year. He was the 7th ranked center by PFF last season. We've talked a crap ton about J.C. Tretter here on the show. He was right behind Tretter. Tretter was 6th. Hennessy was 7th. That's how good Matt Hennessey is. I don't know why the Falcons would part with him, but if they have two good centers, maybe trade Hennessey to a team like the Dolphins that needs a center, because I don't think Connor Williams is going to get the job done for you, contrary to what this front office believes right now. So here's the trade idea. Dolphins get Matt Hennessey and a fourth-round pick. The Falcons get Eric Rowe and a third-round pick. I think this is a win-win deal for both sides. I think this is something that both teams would consider. Dolphins would get their center of the future. Falcons would get a pretty quality safety in Eric Rowe, who the Dolphins really don't need because they have Javon Holland and Brandon Jones. I would do this trade in a heartbeat if I was Chris Grier. Get a center, protect Tua. Let's get to our next trade idea from Les Sports Center's Top 10. It's a pretty funny username. Dolphins get Mekhi Becton and a second-round pick. Jets receive Austin Jackson, a first-round pick, and a third-round pick. And after I did a video on Mekhi Becton in a mailbag about, maybe a week ago, a lot of you have been very, very enthused about the idea of potentially getting Mekhi Becton, who had a great rookie season in 2020 after being the 11th overall pick. However, he just played in one game last season, had some injury issues. Now, if you were to acquire Mekhi Becton in a trade with the Jets, this is what your offensive line would look like. And I would feel pretty doggone good about this offensive line. Sure, Connor Williams and Liam Eichenberg, question marks there, but you would have Armstead on the left side, Mekhi Becton on the right side, protecting Tua Tagovailoa's blind side, a really quality right guard in Robert Hunt. This is a lot better than the offensive line is currently. Now, do you want to trade for Mekhi Becton, who has been linked to NFL trade rumors? Type T for trade or type P for pass down in the comments section. I would do it, and I would absolutely pursue Mekhi Becton. The Dolphins should pursue Mekhi Becton. He is a very, very quality option at right tackle for you. Now, he was a left tackle with the Jets the last two seasons, so he'd be playing a position that he's not as familiar with. But getting out of New York, I don't think you would mind. I don't think you'd mind making that change. But with the Jets trade in the division, I don't think so. Let's get to our next trade idea here from Tyler. Dolphins receive A.J. Terrell, a corner from the Falcons. Falcons get Byron Jones and a third-round pick. It's funny, about half of all of your trade ideas feature the Falcons, probably because they're so bad and need help desperately. They can also be taken advantage of. Here is what A.J. Terrell did last season. Producer Trace, who's a Saints fan, knows how desperate the Falcons are. A.J. Terrell, 81 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 16 passes defended, 3 interceptions. A very good, young, quality corner. This is going to be his third season in the league after being a first-round pick out of Clemson. Now, would the Falcons take on Byron Jones' contract? That is the question. I don't know. Now, he restructured his deal after the Fins traded for Tyreek. So he's only getting $1.1 million this year, but he's owed $25 million the next 2 seasons. I don't know if anybody's going to take on Byron Jones' contract. And yes, he has been a hot commodity in terms of Dolphins. I don't know if commodity is the right word, but he has been very much linked in Dolphins trade rumors. But I don't know if anybody's going to take on the contract. That's why I don't think Jones will get traded anytime soon, at least. Let's get to Ed's trade idea. Dolphins receive Daron Payne, a defensive tackle from the Commanders, and Washington would get Eric Rowe and Myles Gaskin. Oh, yeah, I'm doing this trade in a heartbeat. I don't know if the Commanders would, but Daron Payne has been in trade rumors. He sat out 2 consecutive weeks of Commanders OTAs, and he is very much considered to be on the trade block. Here is what he did last season. 61 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, 15 quarterback hits. Someone who I'm very much high on, and the Commanders shouldn't trade him, but there is some speculation that he might get traded, and I'm all for this trade. I've mentioned how my biggest concern right now on defense for the Fins is the nose tackle, defensive tackle position, because you just don't have a whole lot of depth there. Raekwon Davis struggled last year. I think he's in for a big year 3, but if he struggles again, I don't know how I feel about that current position right now for the Fins. You can go get Payne. He's going to get to the quarterback a lot. Now, who says no in this deal? Is it the Dolphins or is it the Commanders? For the Fins, type MIA. For Washington, type WAS down in the comments. Let's get to Perfect Fins trade idea. Appreciate you DMing this to me on Twitter. Dolphins get Quinn Miners, a guard from the Broncos, and we all know the Dolphins desperately need a guard, at least a left guard. The Broncos receive Eric Rowe. Oh, I'm doing this in a heartbeat. I'm absolutely doing this trade because Miners is an above-average guard. Now, he played right guard last season for the Broncos. However, he does have experience at the left guard position. You bring him in. You let's put it this way. You would be trading away a player you do not need and acquiring a position that you really, really need. I'm all for that trade at Perfect Fins. Great trade idea. By the way, any trade ideas you have, because we're going to do more of these shows, DM them to me at WillScott44, and I'll be sure to put you on the show. Winter Skull 69, a GOAT subscriber here at Dolphins Today. So we talked about Rick Ross maybe purchasing a stake in the Dolphins. Winter Skull 69's trade idea. Rick Ross purchases a 5% stake in the Fins. Stephen Ross, again, no relation between the two, as you can see on screen, receives money. I'm all for it. I'm all for Rick Ross, the boss, becoming the boss. So, in fact, I hope Stephen Ross gives him a 100% stake in the team, even though Rick Ross, his net worth is only $55 million. I don't think he could swing that. But, yeah, I would love Rick Ross to become the minority owner of the Dolphins because he can recruit big-time free agents to Miami Beach, and I'm all for that. Now, you can follow me on Twitter at WillScott44. Again, you can DM me any trade ideas you have. We'll be sure to put you on a future show if you do.